show. We had a tiny hiccup just now. We didn't go live on LinkedIn, but right now we are live on LinkedIn, so that's a good thing. And today we have with us Jamila Bannister. She's no stranger to the show. She's actually was on the very first edition of the Thursday Useful Content Creation Show. And she's back today to talk with us about some important things. But for those people who don't know you, please introduce yourself again, Jamila.
Hi guys, I'm Jamila Bannister, and I'm a personal branding strategist. I'm a content creator, of course, by default because of the things that we do, and yeah. So I'm here to talk to you guys today and vibe with you a little bit about the content I create and how I use it to get to know people, educate people, train people, and bring more visibility to them in the work that they do.
Okay, great. Wonderful. But before we go on, we forgot to do it. Because I have this Rodecaster Pro now, I can play the actual theme music. So let me just drop some of that music. Oh, no, we love the theme song.
You have to turn it up, Juma. We can hardly hear.
Oh, you can hardly hear it? Let me turn it up a little more. Is that better?
Yes,
that's slightly better. So if you're down in the comments, whether it's on LinkedIn or Facebook or any other place, please feel free to send us some comments. All right, I just wanted to play that for a little bit because I like it, and I know the useful content community likes it as well. All right, let me do my copious fade out here.
It's a vibe. It's
Very much a vibe. All right, Jamila, good to see you today. Good to see you on this wonderful day in Trinidad and Tobago. And I know today we wanted to talk about your content, but very specifically, I want to talk about the work you've been doing with summits. So I know you have a summit coming up just in the near future. The reason I know is because I will be in the summit, right? And talking about some good stuff, some of which I've never shared publicly before. And it'll be brand new content I'm creating for that. And tell us, what are summits, and how can someone, just tell us a little bit about what summits are for people who don't know, because they might be thinking summit is a physical thing, but of course we are, most people are locked down, we're not gathering in places. So tell us what summits are in this context.
All right. So, summit, a virtual summit, which is the event I'm hosting, it's similar in concept to an in-person conference, an in-person summit, to be very honest. So it's the coming together of a set of speakers who may be experts in a particular area, a particular topic, or people who will be brought together by a particular theme. And it's designed to really give people, how should I say, designed to give people value and advice and information that they could take back and apply in their own, whether it's business, whether it's their own life, or whatever the theme of the summit is, right? So it really is an all-in-one event designed to feed you information, train you, educate you, and hopefully on the other side of that, you come out in a much better position to make decisions and to move forward. So in a virtual context, the idea of a summit is pretty much the same. However, when it comes to leveraging summits to really get people excited and pumped up about the things that you're doing, it really is building an entire ecosystem to take people from not knowing about you at all to not being able to get enough of you once it is finished. And it's like I describe it like a content ecosystem, because there's so much that goes into planning and strategizing and executing a summit to make sure that, when people come on, they're not bored, right? Because of course, when it comes to anything online or online events, it's very easy for you to be like, oh my God, this is so boring, and to click off. You have so many things demanding your attention in the back, whether you're cooking or your kids are in your face, you know what I mean? And they want to play with you at that time. Or maybe you just have other things that's demanding your attention. So an online summit really is, at least the way I design it and the way that I've been trained to and the way that I've been doing it, is an event that's designed to help transform you. And we do that through very highly curated content designed to have a particular type of impact at the end of it. So that's what a summit is. It's a very fun, exciting event, to be honest.
Excellent, excellent, excellent.
Yeah.
Before we go on, I have more questions to ask you about summits, but before we go on, let me recognize in the house, we have Nessie. Nessie,
Hi,
is
Nessie.
saying hello. Nessie is as my sister, and just by coincidence, is Jamila's sister too. Good to
By
see you.
coincidence.
Good to have us all on screen together in this way. And I also want to recognize my people on LinkedIn. So Celine, thank you for saying hello. We can't show your comments on this Saturday edition. The Saturday edition really favors commenting from LinkedIn and from YouTube and Facebook. But Celine Gosign is saying hello. Robert, as usual, is coming in with the big hellos. Hi, Robert. Thanks for coming in. And yes, I do have the Rodecaster Pro, and that's what you're hearing my voice through right now. Yes, I do I do have it. And Ricky is coming in. Valine is saying hi as well on LinkedIn. So we want to recognize the people who are supporting us. And if you all have any questions about summits or what Jamila is talking about, feel free to drop them in the comments, and I'll convey them. And we have Andrew saying hi as well. Hey, UC content community, don't forget to leave your hashtag UCC Live for all of the content that we're talking about today.
Yes.
All right, so let's
talk
about
the bulbs.
The bulbs, yeah. Throw your bulbs up. You know how we do? Throw your bulbs up in the air and wave them like I just don't care. Yeah, no, wave them like you do care, because electricity consumption is a serious business. But yes, throw your bulbs up in the air. And Janine, hi, saying hello on LinkedIn as well. Glad to have you on. So let's talk a little bit about the summit, or summits in general. So just like a regular summit, a virtual summit gathers speakers together. Yes? Right. How do you go about getting people to be on your summit? How does that work?
That's a very good question. All right. So before we even think about who do we want for the event, I have to take it a step back. I have to think about, what do I want to accomplish with this event, right? What do I want people to get out of it? What do I want people to walk away with? So I always start with the end in mind. So when people leave, what is their transformation, and what do I want them to be able to do much better, and what do I want them to be able to say, well, yes, I feel more empowered to do this or that or the other, right? And once I settle on what that is, it becomes easier to plan the other parts of it, and then decide, okay, in order for them to accomplish this thing, they need to know about these things, and they need to get an education in these areas. And then once I have a clarity on what are the areas they need to get into, then I say, okay, let me find people who I think will be able to handle these topics and handle them well. And that is why at that point I go out and say, let me put my feelers out there and start to really engage and speak with people who I think could really fit the bill. So when it comes to actually making the selection, because all of the speakers at the summit I host are all hand selected. So it's not like, a mass application of people or anything like that. I haven't gotten to that stage yet, but I just really do enjoy the process of pinpointing people based on their own content, based on the things that they are doing, based on the things that they are putting out there. And two things are very important: that they know what they're talking about, and that they have a personality that carries well on camera. Because a summit is not just about receiving information in a very staid way. It really is about being able to enjoy the person that you're looking at and the person who's talking to you, right? Because that engagement and excitement is also a part of the whole event. Because when you're online, you really want to be able to have that infused into what you're doing as much as possible. Because of course, people's attention can get kind of plucked away really quickly if you're not doing that. So I just dig into my network. LinkedIn is a huge place that I look for and I engage from, because of the fact that I make a concerted effort to expand my network every day, engage with new people every day, talk to and build relationship with people. And that has allowed me to basically grow a pool of contacts who I think could be very valuable in terms of bringing the expertise to the table. And as a result, I just go in and I look and I say, I like what this person is doing. I think they'll be able to handle what I have in mind. I like what they are doing. So it really is a slow, methodical process of handpicking people, whether it's through referrals. I may tell somebody who may have spoken before, they run a show with the summit, and I want somebody who could cover this topic or that topic or the other topic, and they'll be like, I know the perfect person. So leveraging my network so that I could kind of get reach into other people's networks, it really is a duplication of effort. And looking at people in my own network. So my first degree, like I have my own little LinkedIn going on, right? So I have my first degree contacts that I look at, and then second degree contacts who will do the work for me to some extent. And then I know I look on my Facebook as well, because I always am connecting with new people. So it really is a process of hand picking people. And I think and there's another element to that as well. Because I am Caribbean based, it's important that I do have representation from the region as well as outside of the region. Because, to be very honest, I know that the whole concept of online events has become more popular on our ends. It hasn't been very popular before. I don't know if anybody produces a summit quite like me, though, in the way that I spend a lot of time beforehand curating things in an in-depth way before I even think about approaching somebody else, approaching a speaker, for example. But with all that being said, it's important that I get people both locally and abroad. And the reason for that is I like the idea of having more experienced people who more likely will be from abroad. And I think they bring like an incredible amount of value, because it helps me and it helps the people who are logging on, and also with the persons from the region. I always find myself in a place of helping them, helping them helping them to bring themselves up to a particular standard to present on a summit. Because, well, as you know, being a presenter on a summit is not just showing up and talking. It's a lot of preparation for you as well. So it's important that the persons are open. It's important that the persons are willing to take instructions too, because sometimes when you have experts, when you're bringing them into a scenario, they then have to become a student to some extent, right? To be brought in. I don't want to say brought in line, but to understand the run of show with a summit like this and all the things that they need to have prepared before they come inside. So it's a matter of personality that's important. Brand alignment, and certainly if you're good at what you do, sure, I definitely give you an opportunity to at least consider coming on, or I want you to consider me.
Coming on. It's so such. You feel honored then.
Very honored that you're part of such an exclusive bunch of people.
Bunch of people. Yeah, I think what this is how much for you? What is the second?
This is second one. This is second one.
Second summit you've run. The last summit. Well, I know you ran the last summit. I wasn't invited to that one, so clearly, I wasn't ready yet.
He wasn't ready yet, no.
Yeah. So Ricky's asking whether we're a biological brother and sister. Yes, we are, Ricky. Can you not tell from my handsome face?
Oh my God.
She ain't too bad looking either. Yeah. So you this is the second one you've done, and I actually I have a video to show. I have a video to show of one of your wins from the last summit that you did. So let's show that up on screen right now.
Oh, really?
Right. Yeah. So let's take a look at that and play that for everyone to see.
So now it is my mission. That is my mission, to empower women.
Oh, come on, play. Don't play with me, LinkedIn. Let's try that one more time. Right, we're gonna refresh that page. LinkedIn, be in LinkedIn. All right, this is a video here.
Now it is my mission. That is my mission, to empower women, right? And my mission.
Yeah, LinkedIn is doesn't like me today. All right, so basically, let me see if I can skip forward and get some more from this. That is the interwebs people. That's how it goes on live shows sometimes.
Yes.
is my mission. That is my mission, to empower women, right? And my mission.
Yeah, it's sticking on
Yes.
mission for some reason.
Yes.
Well, you explained to us what was going to be
Yes.
said in the video. Who was that? And tell us about the story.
Yeah, I'll tell you about the story. Okay, so this young lady, her name is Jamie Rampasad, and Jamie was one of the attendees of the summit last year, on the inaugural one. She came through, and she had a really good time at the event. You know, she attended. So last year we had about between 30 and 32 sessions in the 4 days. So anywhere between 7 and 9 sessions per day. So it's a lot. It was a lot last year. And she managed to attend about 75% of these sessions, according to what she told me in the same interview. And, you know, there are a couple of them that really stood out to her. And the ones that stood out to her, you know, she went further with those speakers. You know, she bought their products, which is one of the major benefits of being a speaker on the summits that I curate, right? Which I'll get into a little bit later. But, you know, she bought their products and she engaged with them a little bit further. And of course, the Brandprint Summit is all about personal branding and helping you build that visibility for yourself and for your business so you can attract more opportunities and people in there. So two things that she was explaining that she did was that she engaged with Rachel Spivak, who is we call her the digital community architect. She can really teach you how to build a really engaged Facebook group, or LinkedIn group, or whatever community you have. She knows about building communities and also engaging with Carla Williams-Johnson, who does PR and really about getting you on to TV, press, and radio, right? So Jamie actually engaged with both of those ladies, and her Facebook group went from 0 to 1,300 in the space of about 4 months. And it is now her leads funnel, her main source of leads for her business, where she gets clients booked in. And because she does boudoir photography for women, and now she has a whole bunch of clients, and she has a very engaged community. And she was also able to get herself on TV and in the press, just based on attending the summit and being able to understand what she needed at the time.
Yes.
So what she knew, she wanted to serve her clients in a different way, but she wasn't sure where to start. So by attending this summit, it gave her a lot of clarity as to what she should be looking at next, what she should be trying to kind of get into, and how she should approach it. And once she got that clarity, it didn't only change what she did in the business, but it also changed her focus. So it as she said in that clip, what she was explaining is that it took her passion and turned it into purpose, and then it took her purpose into a movement. No, what she said? She had a passion, and then her passion turned into.
I think we may have it here playing now. Let me check and see.
Okay, yeah.
We have it playing now. Let's check and see if we can share it now.
It was very powerful when she said it, and I was yes.
Let me see if this will work. Right, I'm going to show it in the stream. Right, I'm going to rearrange the windows. I'm going to full screen it.
So now it is my mission. That is my mission, to empower women, right? And my mission has become a movement. And how that has happened is through the use of Rachel's information from the group about how to build a Facebook group. I was able to form my group, and we have a mission. In that group, we are there's such a great vibe, and there's such a camaraderie of women, and we have grown, I would say, quite quickly, right? And on top of using Rachel's information, I used Carly's information to reach out to the local media houses to pitch myself.
Yes.
And successfully pitch myself, not only myself, but the group, because to me, this was tied to my mission of women. So myself to the local media houses, and I was successful in getting featured for a short segment for the CNC3 News.
Yes, and I remember. I saw it. I was like, wow, Jamie, yes.
Oh, thank you. And then shortly after that, the Express picked up this story as well, right? Because basically we were talking about empowerment of women and using boudoir as a vehicle to do that.
Right.
So with using the information that I was able to gain from the brand summit, it has turned my purpose from purpose into passion, passion into mission, and hold on. Yeah, my passion into purpose, my purpose into mission, and my mission into a movement.
Very cool. It's great to see what happened with her. And
Yeah.
and you told me, I think you told me before that you weren't aware of the story really until very late.
Yeah, I didn't know all that happened with her. She was a past attendee, so I just kind of reached out to find out, how things went, and only to find out that she did all those things and she invested and she went further. And I know she was one of the people who was very active, because along with this event, we have a Facebook community that we run parallel to the event, which gives people a chance to get to know each other, right? So in any physical event, you get to meet people. So it's not just you kind of come and you just hear people speak and then you leave, right? You get a chance to meet people, engage people. And that was something we encouraged a lot at the event last year. So she was very active. So I said, let me just reach out and speak to her. And lo and behold, I got all this story from her. And it was really great to know that out of, she was able to be impacted. So I'm sure if she was one person, I'm sure there are other people who would have done the same. But, because of the number of people who attended, it's kind of hard to keep track of everybody. Yeah. But it's good. It's good to see that happen with her. So
excellent. Let me just shout out some people on LinkedIn. Let me shout out Tanya S. Stewart. She's saying, hi, Juma and Jamila. Hi, Tanya. How are you doing?
Hi, Tanya.
And Ricky's still there making his comments. He laughed at the fact that we're brother and sister. So yes, Ricky. And Dana saying hello. Dana's a really, really good person. She should come to this summit. She should.
I think she signed up.
She signed up. She has a passion to learn. I could tell from what Dana's really been turning up on LinkedIn and has been gathering. Dana will go far. She continues with that particular attitude of wanting to learn more. So yeah, she did sign up. So that's good. Andrew was saying wow. I guess he was saying wow at the fact that she went from 0 to 4,000 in such a short space of time, because Facebook groups are notoriously hard to grow. Rachel is saying on LinkedIn, she said her pot burning, but she here. Rachel, you're not easy. Rachel, yeah. So I can imagine your pot burning. I wonder what are you cooking, Rachel? Let us know and we'll share it with the people. Not the food, just the knowledge of what the food is. And Keneal is logging in from Jamaica. Thanks, Keneal, for turning up. And Dana is shocked that we are brother and sister.
Why are you shocked?
Can
you not see it?
She didn't know. Like I told Ricky, look at the face. It's hard to get away. And Andrew saying yes, he was exclaiming at the fact that the growth was so incredible. Yeah. So it's interesting. Her particular case is a really good case study, because it shows how you could take, if you have something that you want to grow, you could come into resource, that is freely given, because that's what the summit is. Of course, you could buy and you could upgrade and get more access over a long period of time, which we encourage people to do as well. But the initial resource is freely given, and it's given to you, and you can take that. And it worked for her. It literally worked. She grew. The two things that she came to learn about, it actually was fleshed out. So she learned about the Facebook communities, and that clearly evidenced by clear data, that worked. And secondly, she learned about PR and getting onto particular shows and so on. And she appeared not only on TV, but also she appeared on TV, which, there are people out here for years and they can't appear on TV. And she also appeared in the newspapers. So her results speak for themselves. And, and I think that's a really good testimony as to what the summit could do for people. Would you say that? Yeah?
Yeah, I agree. As you say, come into resource, and it really shows what can happen when you, and I think it's important to note that accessing the thing for free really is supposed to be the key to unlock your mind to kind of give you the impetus to go further. Because Jamie did invest, she invested beyond the summit. She got some things for free, but she did invest in certain things to help her grow. And it just completely unlocked her world. And you see how it just kind of transformed. And it didn't just transform her business, but transform her mission. You know, it changed her mind in terms
Yes.
of what she saw as her purpose to serve a lot more effectively. You know, so I was really happy to see that, and that was really nice. Hopefully we can have some more of that this year. You know, we can have
Yeah,
10
yeah.
more Jamies, 20 more
Yeah,
Jamies.
we want 10 more Jamies. And the reason I'm rooting for this so much, not because you know, yeah, Jamila's my sister and she has this is good. But Jamie is also an old client of ours as well. We shot her wedding back in the days. So and at that time, I didn't think she was into photography. She liked photography. She saw ours and she hired us. So the fact that she has moved from not being a photographer to being a photographer, to then specializing in her business, to then now having a Facebook group, to then now being featured on the media, shows a very specific journey in her own
Yeah.
content development and her own profession that really, you know, I was glad to be part of, and I'm sure you're glad to be part of, because at the end of the day, we want to improve people's lives and make them more adept at the thing that they do so that they can build their life, build their business, support their families, and all those different things. So
Yeah, for sure.
it's really important. You know, excellent stuff. Yeah. Let me just talk to some of the comments again. So these comments are going wild right now. So Rachel is saying, well, Cornelius, of course, said hello. And okay, Dana's shocked that we okay. So Rachel is saying she's cooking pilau. Yeah. For those who don't know, sorry to interrupt the Brandprint, talking about the Brandprint and Summits to give you our daily food report on pilau. It's hard to explain pilau. Let's just call it is a rice and peas mixture, and you should include some type of meat in it. Yeah. So that's it. And she said she's saying bun bun never kill anybody. You know, for those who don't know what bun bun is, of course, this is a local show too, as you can see from my national colors. It's a local show too. So bun bun is when the rice gets burnt to the bottom of the pot, and we scrape it off and eat it still, even though it's burnt. Right? That's when the pilau boil long too much. Right? And thank you, Tanya, for your bulbs. Thank you so much for that. And good trajectory and ROI. So Tanya is responding to the fact that Jamie grew so much and in that period of time. So she's good return on investment because Jamie did invest. Right? Tamara saying, "What up, family? Any vegan pilau
Tamara,
options?"
how are you?
No vegan pilau for you, Tamara. None whatsoever. We're only eating meat up in the place. we'll probably get how could you have vegan? Oh, you could have vegan pilau if you try very hard, you know. And and not about, you know.
That's our rice cookup. That's our rice cookup.
That's our rice cookup. Tamara said she's here for the summit. Yeah, not just the pilau, just the summit as well.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about it. So the summit is hosted on a very specific platform. How does it work? You tell us how it works.
Well, the summit, okay. So generally, when people get into doing online events, right, they may use a specific platform. So there are lots of summit platforms out there. There's like Hey Summit and a bunch of others, but I build my own platform, and there's a reason that I build my own platform. The most obvious is that I want to own my platform, right? Because I want to be able to change and adjust things as needed to suit the audience that I would like to have. It also allows me to own the data, which is very important, right?
Yeah.
Very, very useful and very helpful in terms of tracking people's behavior and tracking people like Jamie, so I can see what she's doing, and being able to explain the impact of this event, not just for attendees, but for people like potential investors and maybe sponsors who may want to see just how far this thing can reach. And it also, of course, helps me, you know, in terms of like, is this viable? Is this something that I really want to be able to do again? Yes. So it helps in decision making. So, and it allows me to own that content, own that data forever because it's mine. One of the other reasons that I like to use my own website and my own platform is that, you know, I could add and take away as I see fit. So one of the things that we have at this event, where I think that really adds some more value, is that we have a quiz, right? So the quiz is designed to help people decide, okay, well, which day should I focus on, or what should I prioritize right now? Because coming to an event like this, or going to any event that's long haul, you know, 3, 4, 5 days, you can get really exhausted, right? And I know that, you know, many people may be in a position where they want to focus on a particular thing. Maybe they have certain things down, but there's one thing that's kind of eluding them and they want to focus. So the quiz allows people to answer, and we've designed it in such a way that based on your responses, you will get a particular type of result. And that result will guide you and tell you, well, here's what you need to focus on day 1, or maybe you should focus on day 4 or day 3 or whatever the case may be. And because I have my own platform, it allows me to embed that, put that in there, and easily guide people to wherever they need to be. And it allows me to be inside of there to be able to kind of track those results to see what people's needs are. So all of those are points of data that sometimes when you use an external platform, you can't really keep. You have to like do your event and then leave it. And you also don't get a chance to really brand out this thing as much as possible. You still have to send a subdomain link or something like that, or so the ownership and the propriety of the platform is really important for me. It's a lot more work. It's a lot more work, but I think it's worth it to keep that, to keep it all internal. For the sake of data tracking, and for the sake of management, for the sake of brand ownership, and for the sake of me deciding, okay, well, let's make a pivot in this thing. If I want to make a change, I don't have to see, and I don't have to worry about paying rental fees. I don't have to worry about that. And I pay my mortgage, and it's my house to own, So that's what it is.
That's wonderful. I think the whole idea of data is very, very important and critical. People often overlook the purpose of data and using that. And I know Tamara's down in the comments there, and she's probably watching, and she will tell you about why it's important to look at data, is that you're able to make proper decisions based upon on the things that you see. And if you're saying that the better way to do it is to really try and grab as much data as possible. So the next time you have to run a summit, or the next time you have to make a decision about some virtual event you have to put on, then you have that thing to guide you into making the correct decisions. Of course, time will go along, things might change slightly, but at least you have a baseline as to how to treat with these things. All right, so let me I know that this is the website here. Is that correct?
Brandprintsummit.com, yes.
That's correct. So Brandprint Summit. If you want to go check out and sign up for the summit, you can go to brandprintsummit.com. I am speaking at the summit to make sure I'm correct, not correct, or collect. Make sure I'm what am I trying to say? Not collect, it's a C word I want to use. You know those type of moments where you have a word, the first letter, but you don't know the rest. Catch. Is it catch? Wow. Make sure and catch my presentation on the summit. And what day is it? What's the date again?
The date for your presentation, or the date for the entire event?
Well, it would be bad if I was asking the date for my presentation, but you can mention that too. But the date for the general summit is what?
But the summit begins on the 24th of August. It lasts until the 27th. But we will have a kick-off call on the 23rd. So that's a call where I'll be giving you all the information, telling you all about like all the giveaways and all the networking and where we're going to be having all the fun. That I want to have a little bit of a party. So that's how you having all the fun before.
Yes.
And then by the 24th, we dive into the real work and really, as I say, I heard somebody say one time, heavy duty note taking.
Yes.
So that's when you're really going to have to start. So get a blank notebook if you don't have that. There's a workbook that comes with the visibility toolkit. That is a guided book, so it can ask you the right questions.
Yes.
But if you don't grab the kit, get a blank notebook and just make sure and take the notes, because you will need it.
Excellent. Do that. Take that advice. Do it, and you will not regret it. You'll be like Jamie, and we're trying to exceed expectations this year for the summit. And for all those who are still in disbelief whether or not Jamila and I are brother and sister, I want to share this image right here. All right, this is us. I kind of set up the image. Let me just do this solo here. Yeah, so this is back in the days when things are so different. You see the height difference, people? See the height difference?
Gosh.
I was always
Why was I wearing that insane belt? Oh my gosh.
And the belt is cool. I like the belts, you know.
Why were they wearing that belts? That's so
It's, it's,
crazy.
it's stylish back in the days. That's down on on the beach. Very nice. Yeah. So this is us, brother and sister. So yes, we are related. You know, let me just hide that right now to put everybody's.
My God, Juma.
Oh,
Why you have to bring out there? Why you have to bring out that? Why you have to bring that out? Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I want you to feel self-conscious, you know. Yeah, we can make those type of jokes. It's family. And of course, you all would have seen my anniversary stuff, so you know what my wife looks like.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about some other piece of content that you've been really building out and has been gaining momentum. The Personality magazine. Now, I myself was trained in print. I am a print person. I literally learned how to operate printing presses, and that was my training. That's my technical training. We've seen over the years a significant decline in physical print magazines, but we've also seen in that time a rise in digital magazines and things of that sort, and people have been making a transition. You've decided to create this very specific magazine called Personality Magazine. Could you tell us a bit more about what Personality Magazine is and why do you decided to create it?
Oh yeah, absolutely. So Personality Magazine is, I like to refer to it now as the media house out of Juma Bannister branding, because it allows for the telling of stories and training and educating of a person's in one publication. And Personality Magazine, to tell you the truth, it was born out of the summit.
Really?
So it was really, it was born out of the Brandprint Summit, and it started off as
let's give that some applause because I can. Yeah, because I will broadcast the pro and I can do that, you know.
So it was born out of the Brandprint Summit, and it really was a way for me to allow my audience to get to know the speakers before the event, right? So as much as I was planning this event, and based on the system I used to kind of execute the summit, they talk about promotion and stuff, but nobody ever talked about how important it is to really acclimatize people to the speakers. So
yeah,
even though I have this event and I have an entire page dedicated to speakers, I have an entire page dedicated with their bios, with their website, with their pictures, so people can go on and read and get to know the speakers beforehand, because I think it's important for you to kind of situate in your mind who you're going to talk to, who you're going to hear from.
Mm-hmm.
I felt that it was important for people to actually hear from them, hear the actual stories, and to get a sense of who these people are beyond just speaking to them in a recording. So I developed the Personality Magazine just as a way to be able to talk to the summit, talk to the topics that we will cover, because each, just like we're doing this here, each day functions with a theme. So the speakers were grouped on the days according to what they were speaking about based on the theme of that day. So each issue would have been running along a particular theme.
Right.
So we would ask certain questions and we would have a particular topic and ask them to weigh in, give their opinion. And it really was a nice way, because I remember one comment last year when we had an attorney dealing with intellectual property rights and protecting your brand from an intellectual property rights point of view. And I remember somebody commenting and saying, I have been waiting for this presentation all summit. I read her article in the magazine and I really liked it. I'm very excited. Excellent. And when I saw that, I'm like, oh wow, people are reading the magazine and really getting to know the speakers. And I just felt that the bio page is good, but it didn't do justice to the speakers to bring them forward enough. So that's why I created the magazine. And then by the time the summer was over, the magazine had become such an integral part of sharing the message of not just the summit in and of itself, but it really spoke to a lot of the things we covered, a lot of the brand building things, content, managing business, mentorship. We spoke about a lot of things in the magazine. So I'm like, you know what, it's very hard for me to stop producing this now. So I'm going to keep producing it. And as I kept producing it, I realized that there are so many themes to explore and there are lots of people's stories that we can tell.
Yeah.
Who have been building business and have been leveraging their own brand to connect and to build and to grow, and who have been fronting their business, leading from the front.
Mm-hmm.
So we continue to produce it as a monthly magazine, but as it grew, um, and I want to shout out Maria, who's the designer on the team now. I think she's brilliant, amazing, and took the magazine to another level. So I mean, it allowed me to focus on how do we strategize and create content that is pertinent, that's relevant, but at the same time that's educational,
Mm-hmm.
um, and it also gives people a chance to kind of also gives us a chance to kind of tell the stories of people, both locally and
Mm-hmm.
abroad, who are leading their businesses from the front, with thought leadership, with distinctive brands, by being the go-to person in their industry for different things. And that's what and so that has been the case. And the thing of it is, this is a magazine that used to live on
Yeah.
LinkedIn. It lived on LinkedIn. We produced it in Canva. It lived
Mm-hmm.
on LinkedIn, and consistently, once you put it out, it wasn't like it didn't get 100,000 views, but it also always got like about a 2,000, 3,000 views, and the engagement was good, and there would always get uptick in traffic on the website whenever I put it out. So
Right.
I told myself, I said, you know what, it's time for this magazine to get its own home. And so while working on the summit, we've also been working on getting Personality its own home, and making it a full-fledged blog and magazine and resource website where you don't just get access to content, but you get access to resources, and you could discuss things in a forum if there are topics and things you want to talk about. So that's where Personality is now. And once the summit is over, you'll see us back in full swing producing the magazines, because the editorial spread is now will now be a quarterly production.
Mm-hmm.
And in between that, of course, we're going to have blog updates and stories that we share on the website. And because of that now, it has been opened up that we can accept contributors who want to bring stories to the platform and
Mm-hmm.
talk about certain things in line with what we focus on. You know what I mean? So
Mm-hmm.
that is what Personality is. Um, and I mean, it's a true magazine experience. So when people go on, they could flip the pages, and it's an interactive magazine. You could click the stories, you can look at video inside the magazine. So
Well, let's take a look. Let's take a look at it. Let's
yes,
take
oh
a look
gosh.
at what the magazine is like. Oh yeah, yeah. You see, I see your lighting is
Yeah, the sun
doing
just set and then came back up there.
do some gymnastics there. So this is the
Yeah.
website, personalitymagazine.com. Are you seeing it there? Is it coming up?
Yes, I'm seeing it on your screen, on your thing. Yes, yeah.
Okay, great, wonderful. Let me just check the comments and see what's going on there. So we have some UCC live comments. Yes, Tanya's saying family ties, and looking forward. Dana's looking forward to the summit. Let me see what else is happening down here. We're having this ongoing conversation in the comments about bun bun and pilau. That's my fault.
Okay.
I started that.
Mhm.
Has little to do with the summit and Personality magazine, but it shows people have personality, so that is good,
I suppose,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, and Rachel is laughing herself away, and yeah, and we're having some UCC live comments down in there too. I think there's something that somebody said that I missed. Let me see. I think okay, no, that we said that already. Okay, excellent. So let's have a look. Let's have a look at the magazine.
Yeah.
We could take ourselves off screen and we could have a look at it. Let's see.
Okay.
So they should be able to hear us. So let's look at the magazine. So this is the cover of the magazine. It's a full-fledged website as well with all of the content inside of it.
Yeah, so we have some videos coming up, so you can see Jamie's interview there, and we have a video there that's going to be released in the once the new issue comes out. So the magazine allows me to not just speak to individuals with stories, but we're also going to be speaking with experts to give us advice and that kind of thing. So it really is an educational hub, and I want people to be able to enjoy it as such. And these are the past issues.
This was the last one, the
This one is,
latest one.
yeah. The one with Tamara on the cover is the most recent issue. Yes.
For those who don't know who this is Tamara Monlouis. What she call herself? Does she call herself CEO, president? What she call herself of
executive director?
The ED, the executive director of Monovan Digital. Let's check out a story here in Personality Magazine, because this is good content too. How would people, if somebody wanted to make their own magazine, how would they do it?
Ooh, producing your own magazine. Well, okay, so producing your own magazine is just like producing any other form of content, right? You really have to be clear about, why am I producing this magazine, or why do I want to produce this, and what exactly do I want this?
Oh, nice.
What exactly do I want this to do for the people who are looking at it? And so I guess you always start with the end in mind, and you always start with, what is the impact I want this to have, and what are the goals for this? What are the goals for this magazine, both for me, what I want to do for me, and what do I want to do for the people who are looking on? And the second thing is that, putting together a magazine means that you really have to sit down and plan out what the content is going to look like.
Yeah.
And what are the how should I say, the brand attributes and the values that are going to guide this? Because this is like any other brand, right? Producing a magazine is like any other brand, because when you look at magazines like Vogue, because I did research quite a bit before I decided to really take this magazine and run with it, when you look at
Rachel here.
This is Rachel here, yes, the digital communities architect, right? So I did look at, when you look at Vogue, or when you look at People, or when you look at any other magazine that may be popular on the show, Success Magazine, Entrepreneur Magazine, consistent. When you consistently look through them, what are the things you notice? You notice that they have a certain type of voice that comes through. You notice that they have a certain type of look and feel that comes through. You notice that they cover certain types of articles. They have certain philosophies that guide them. And so there are certain types of articles you will never see in Entrepreneur Magazine, and there are certain types you will always see in Entrepreneur Magazine. And so based on that, that was important to decide. Now, once you've decided that, and okay, my magazine will always speak to, so Personality Magazine always seeks to tell the stories of thought leaders, and it always seeks to educate people along business development lines, and we always try to put in something with technology, whether it's a new app, or it's a platform, or it's some sort of piece of software that can help you produce content more efficiently or produce content better. And we also try to include something that's a little bit fun. We try to gamify things every now and then.
Yes.
So with that is that giving people an all around. So you get the inspiration through story. You always have something that we talk about from a business development point of view. We always talk about something technology-wise, and then we try to include some gamification or something that's kind of lighthearted and fun. And the articles are always written in a way that are very conversational, and they're written in a way to make you feel as though you're having a conversation with it. So not very staid, or it's not academic. It's not like report. It's like a report in the news. It really is personality. So that is what you get. Excellent. And and then once you get that, you start to put together your content. Of course, you're gonna have to being a good writer helps, and having good writers helps as well.
Right.
I could be very honest, and when I think back on me writing content now, and I think back, the training I got came from since I was in school, since I was in secondary school, and I did subjects like literature, which is a lot of writing. English was my favorite top subject. We did history, which is a lot of writing. I did Spanish, again, another language, a lot of writing. So all the things that I did, I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it then, and I don't think I thought about it for a long time after that. But everything that I did, even as a teen, groomed me for where I am now, because when I read a piece of content or I read an article that somebody would have written, I'm like, but this doesn't make any sense. This is not flowing it's not helping people. It's not taking them from, it's almost like I want to take people on a journey, and I'm not able to move from step to step to step to kind of weave this together to paint a picture. So now having a more high level view allows me to see, well, when I read this and at the end of it, I feel good. Like, I'm so inspired by that story.
Yeah.
So being able to tell stories and being able to pull together writing succinctly helps. So I would say if you want to start a magazine and you're not a writer, but you have a desire, I would say, read a lot more, read more magazines, do your research, and practice your writing for sure. You don't necessarily have to be a writer to be a good editor-in-chief, but I would strongly recommend that you groom your own skills, because then you'll be able to provide support and training to the people who do write for you and who do contribute. So you can tell when they're holding back, and you can tell when the stories are broken up and they're not making sense. You can say something is missing here. I'm not getting the oomph de je ne sais quoi, that thing. You're missing that thing. So and then you write and you practice, and you get better over time. It's not going to be the best when you start, but you definitely get better over time.
What technology is the website built on?
So the website is built on, well, it's a WordPress website, one.
WordPress, right? And the magazine
yes,
itself.
and I use an app or a platform called Zine that allows me to create the magazine and then, well, of course, put it into the website so that you guys can have that nice flippy experience and look at it. Interactive experience. Yeah.
Okay, so that makes so much sense, and Sienna is saying that
what makes so much sense? I wish he would be more specific. I don't know.
No, you were talking. I didn't want to. In some of the things you were saying, he was talking about the content in the magazine, and he was saying, So this is what he was saying about the content. He was saying that, let's show it here. I like not being talked on to or preached to. I love that. So it's very relational, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I suppose it's like talking to your friend, right? I want you to feel open to be able to come and say, I like this, or what is this about, or whatever the case may be. I'm not about being like the stern teacher, but I mean, I'm not going to baby you, I'm not going to mollycoddle you, but at the same time, I'm not going to
right,
be condescending.
Saying WordPress to the world, yeah. So WordPress is used for a lot of websites, and
yes,
it's very easy
WordPress to the world.
It can be real buggy sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't like you, but yeah, it could be.
Yeah,
really,
but when
really,
it works beautifully. Yeah.
When it works, it works. Let's see if I have any more comments on this side here now. Oh, so Rachel is saying, Rachel was laughing at the beach picture. That's what she was laughing at earlier on.
Oh, okay.
Right, she was laughing, and she was saying, "Wow, the magazine is top tier." She loves the magazine.
Well, thank you, Rachel. Top tier. I try to give my people quality. I want you guys to.
Dina loves it, and we'll check it out. And she's saying she loves WordPress as well, and she's building her business using the website. I suppose using WordPress. So yeah, most definitely. So I think that's good. I think that's really, really, really good. So if anybody has any questions for Jamila, because we're going to bring it in for landing really shortly. If anybody has any questions for Jamila, please send it through, and we'll ask Jamila those very, very, very difficult and thought-provoking questions. Earlier on the show this week, man, when Austin James was on the show on Thursday, I think it was Tanya and somebody else asked, it may have been Dana even, I was asking questions and stumping the guy. It's like, let me think about that. So it's great to have a community. I mean, we have an excellent community. This UCC community is excellent. I see on YouTube. It's excellent to stream to YouTube so that the other people could see it. And yeah, so we have a really, excuse me, we have a really excellent community. And don't forget, guys, if you like what Jamila is saying, throw your bulbs up, #UCC Live. and you all are doing really, really well in the comments. And
I wish I had a bulb to like hold like this, and the only bulb is like the one in the lamp. I don't have a bulb.
we do. We have all the LED bulbs. I have a bulb right over me here, which I'm not using right now. But the shape is what we're gonna. I'm probably gonna create some merch with bulbs on it or something like that. I don't know.
That'd be cool. That'd be cool.
Something for the community, for UCC Useful Content community. We're gonna do something for you guys. I'm gonna figure it out. For the people who are really faithful, shout out Mike Kaya, shout out Dana, shout out Nikisha, shout out, and Sian is on so Sian is on Facebook too. Shout out my people now in the comments, for those who are Keneal and everybody else, and Rachel and Tamara. Tamara, welcome to the community. It's the first time you've turned up live on, well, at least I've commented live. So welcome to the community. You're now part of the Useful Content community. And for those who want to show other people who don't know about the culture, just show them the bulbs and throw up the bulbs in the hashtag UCC Live, so they will know what we're about. So Sian is on both. He wants to show his support on both platforms, so he's jumping onto Facebook as well, which is kind of gated because that's my profile that is streaming too. So everybody else, thank you so much. Celine, Valine. I didn't recognize Valine earlier, but Valine was there. Robert, who always drops in. I can't remember all the names of the faithful people on Thursday, but shout out everybody. If you have any questions, feel free to send the questions for Jamila, and she'll answer them. Valine is still there. Valine is for UCC Live. Thank you, Valine. UCC Live. Thank you, Valine. And she's very proud. All right, so let's have some nice. I want to play some nice little music in the background while we have the end of this conversation here, and you could just kind of give a wrap up as to the summit and anything you'd like people to know about it while I play this lovely music in the background. I'm going to kind of fade it in. Because my father used to be a DJ, and DJ. Does it work?
Okay, I'm seeing a question here coming through from Sian, I think.
What was the name of the magazine maker?
Oh, the name of the magazine maker is Hazine. It's one of those websites, one of those deals I got on AppSumo. AppSumo again.
AppSumo, we love AppSumo. Listen.
AppSumo is like a vortex that keeps sucking us in, but they have good things there.
What we're streaming on right now is something I purchased from AppSumo, a lifetime subscription to AppSumo. So you know we love AppSumo. You have to be very careful about what you buy and when you buy it. But if you get a big
because
deal,
they can really have you spending a lot of money for real. So I see, and I use something called hazine.com. Who knows? Maybe it's still on AppSumo right now. Maybe if you look, you can see it. I mean, you pay, I think, like $79 and you have it for life. You don't have to pay anymore. So yes, so that's what it is. But one thing I wanted to say in terms of yes, AppSumo, yes. Once you start, you can't stop. It's very addicting. Right? One of the things I wanted to say as well with regard to the summit in particular is that, one of the things that we do when it comes to kind of learning, and sometimes, when you go to YouTube and you want to find something, you want to learn something, you tend to go back and look at the same videos over and over again, right? So you might look at it once, look at it again, if you're learning how to do something. Because I remember when I was learning how to edit my own videos, right? YouTube was my teacher, and I'm sure a lot of us can relate to that. And sometimes I would look at the same video over and over again, because sometimes looking at it once, it was a lot of information to absorb. So I have to go back and pause it and stop it. And when it comes to but of course with YouTube, when you put in how to edit videos or whatever, you get like hundreds of videos coming up, and you could pick anyone. How do you know which one is good? How do you know which one is not for you, or whatever the case may be? So when it comes to the summit is like your own personalized, not an ocean, but your own personal. It's like hunting for treasure in a pool versus hunting for treasure in the Pacific Ocean. So YouTube is like the Pacific Ocean, right? And the summit is like a pool. If I could just look down and say, "There's a treasure, there it is, right there," and they could just pick it up. Right. You know what I mean? So when we encourage people to upgrade and get their toolkit, it's because we know that the treasure is right there at your hand, and because the sessions are plentiful, going back and looking at them over and over again helps you to understand things in a much more in-depth way. And as you And as you get better, you would realize that the meaning of things changes to you
Yes.
because you start to understand things a lot better. So, Juma, I want to actually talk about, just touch on the thing that you'll be giving in the toolkit because I think
Oh
it's
wait,
really cool.
hold on. Let me recognize some. We know we had Thursdays is usually the community show, but we have so many people on doing different things. You'll talk about me later. I'm not very important. Let's talk about the community. So my guy has just jumped on LinkedIn.
Oh,
So Stephen has passed through and said, "Sup guys." Stephen, I can't show your comment because of the platform we're on right now. Hopefully hopefully Be Live will resolve that in the future. And he's just bringing the positive energy here to the live stream. And Rachel say, Absumis, what's up? And
yes,
Sugar Shack
Absuma is like
Aqua on
ridiculous.
Facebook is liking my video, I think. That's what. And my Kai is saying, happy Saturday. He's just passing through. My Kai is another faithful one to the useful content community. And Rachel's saying she loved the analogy pool versus ocean. Right?
Yeah.
So this is what's here to say. Absuma is a drug for tech software junkies. Yeah, they kind of are.
It is.
They kind of are.
They are.
All right. So Rachel is asking a question.
They
She's asking, where do you get your inspiration from? Apart from me.
You see apart from him. Hey. What I get my inspiration from? Well, for me, okay, so my mantra, everybody has their thing that they would like, their purpose that drives them, right? And one of my biggest things is to help people achieve their fullest potential.
Right.
So that is a huge thing that drives me because I think there is one of the things that disappoints me the most in life is to see people with unrealized potential, people who have the potential to impact others, to really impact other people's lives in a huge way. And they just either they don't believe that they can, they undersell themselves, they underestimate themselves, and they just do in their own minds, they just don't believe that what they do can really have massive impact.
Yes.
And sometimes, confidence is everything. Believing that you actually can do it transforms the things you say, transforms the actions you take, the people you speak to, the conversations you initiate.
Yes.
And that's a big driver for me, that realization of potential and being able to see people come alive with when they have the right access to the right tools, to the right things, to the right networks, to the right people.
Yes.
That's a big thing for me. I think as an individual, I know a lot of things were triggered in me because of the people I've met along the way, and because of the examples that I have had, and you know what? Who knows? From the school I went to, sometimes when I think about it, and I said, you know what would I have been doing if I didn't go to university? And to tell you the truth, I don't know what I would have been doing. That was the thing that girls in my school did. So everybody knew that after sixth form, you enroll in university and you go, right? And doing that, and I think having certain people around you to help you realize your fullest potential is so critical. Having a community around you. So this is my contribution to the world, to be able to give people access to things that they may not necessarily have had before, access to information, access to education, access to people that they may not have had before, because an event like the summit takes hundreds of hours to prepare, right? So it's very easy for me to put a price tag and say, well, you have to pay $200, $300, $400 to access this, but it's accessible to you at no charge. And part of that is because I really want people to be able to access it, which is why I tell people, share it with people who can find value in this, who will help them, who just needs that guidance to be able to give them, you point them in the right direction.
Yes.
So that is the thing that motivates me. I think it's part of my God-given purpose here.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Thank you so much for the question, Dina. So Cassius came in kind of late, but he's asking what we're talking about today. We're talking about summits, how you could, or Jamila's Summit in particular, the Brandprint Summit, or you could possibly have your own summit, the technology behind that, what's the purpose of summits and how that works out. And we also spoke about And when we say summits, we mean virtual summits. And we also spoke about digital magazines as well, technology behind that. We spoke about Jamila's magazine, Personality Magazine. All right, so that's what we're talking about today. Good to see you, Cassius, man. Good to see you, man. Welcome to the Useful Content community. And although most of my people are on LinkedIn, I can't really throw bulbs up in Facebook right now, but that's our icon, our emoji is the bulb, and we use hashtag UCC Live as the thing that we say in the comments. So you can feel free to throw some bulbs up. Oh yeah. So look, Sion threw up a hashtag UCC Live earlier. So that's what we do down inside this side of the internet on the UCC show. All right, so this is Cecilia is saying that this is so me. It's my self-doubt is holding me back. Yeah, you know, and what I will say to that is that all of us have doubts. Yeah. All of us are terrified a lot of the time of different things, and we're afraid to do things, take chances. But if we don't do it, we're never gonna reach the place that we're supposed to go. We're gonna lose out on the opportunity if we pass over it because of fear. It's okay to be afraid, but you know, be scared and still do it. Yeah. You know, be scared and still do it. And Jamila said a very important word. She spoke about purpose, and it's tied to a God-given purpose. And you know, you have to know what you're about. People have different purpose based on different things, but you have to know your purpose. And if you know your purpose, then you're able to do things in a more deliberate way. So it's very, very important that you figure that out, you know? Very important. What is Ricky saying here? Ricky is saying that, you know, I feel the love, it's so overwhelming to be aware of the knowledge. Yeah. So Valin is saying imposter syndrome is for real. Valin, can I talk about the fact that you are also venturing into your, I know I'm saying it now, into your space, doing stuff, you know, business space. And and for real, it's you feel that way. You feel like you don't know enough, or you're not out here, or you're doing something somebody else is doing better. Listen, there will always be people better than you, always be people worse than you, right? Yeah. What you need to know is that you have a very specific space to fill, and that you can be very good at at the thing. I don't need to be the best. All I need to be is very consistent and very good. Somebody who is very good at something and delivers consistently will always do better than somebody who's extremely talented and doesn't have any discipline. Yeah. You'll always Valina is giving me permission to talk about her stuff. So Valina is going to be getting to PR, and she's starting a business and stuff like that. Well,
Valina, I mean, the City Summit for you. I mean, my goodness.
Yeah, you should come to the summit. The PR is the thing that Jamie used last year to get, you know, that type of thing to get it working. So you will learn stuff. I know you know stuff, but you can also learn stuff inside the summit, and it will help your business as well. And in terms of content creation to help your business, you'll learn that as well. So yeah. Mm-hmm. So Cassius is saying, you know, he's sending his high fives and so on. Valina says she's coming. Hey.
Hey.
Which one? No, I can't just say yeah. I can't just say yay. I have to automate the yays. You have to give Valin a round of applause.
Yes, a round of applause to Valin.
Great to see you, Valin. Great to have you there. And yeah, so Jamila, the last thing you're going to talk about is what I'm going to do at the summit, and then we'll close off. Because we're way over an hour right now, and people want to
really already? Wow. Okay.
Rachel in particular want to eat her pilau, her bun. So let's get what I do out of the way at the summit.
Oh yeah, so Juma's going to be talking about ways to not create boring content, and that's what he's going to do, because you know we have some people who struggle with the boring content, and as evidenced by all of you who are in this community right now, you obviously having a good time, right? So yeah, he's a good guy to talk about that. And one thing that it's in the toolkit from him that I think a lot of us, even me, I'm looking forward to this too. It's something called zero waste content, and it is training. Do you call it training?
Yeah, some training and some insights into how to create. And actually, I was working on some of that today, this morning, and every time I touch it, it's expanding out more. So I'm hoping I could control it and keep it under control to present to you all. So So
it's training about how to repurpose your content in multiple ways. So how to take one thing and turn it into 5 or 10 things, so that you're not constantly running on the hamster wheel of having to create something new. Yeah, I should have had my song debut for today. That's what I should have done, but you know, that's okay. Yeah, guys, I was supposed to do a whole song around this. it probably come out in a week or two.
Yeah, I wish we could have done this song live. That would have been nice.
That would have been
Um,
nice, but songwriting is hard. Show business is hard. Oh my
Show
gosh.
business is hard. Hey,
Yes.
Rachel, thank you. Rachel called me walking awesome sauce. Thank you so much, Rachel, for that wonderful compliment. I take.
Yeah.
I thank you. So
Yeah. So Rachel, you're gonna get some of that sauce in the toolkit. So it's really a training to help you to really ask the question, how else can I use this video instead of do I have to come up with something new again this week, today, So it attempts to take the stress out of having to create content by allowing you to reuse what you have in a clever way, hence the term zero waste, because we're not wasting anything, right? So
excellent. And we hear that music. That means we're being played out. It's like the Grammys.
Yes. So thank you guys for coming and talking to us today. I appreciate the community. Thanks, Juma, for having me on. And I look forward to seeing you guys at the summit in just a couple of weeks. Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you guys for coming here. We appreciate that. Saturdays usually are more relaxed day, less structured. But I'm so glad that the community showed up today to throw up some bulbs for us. Throw up your bulbs, throw up your hashtag UCC Live. As we play our way out, we're gonna have a little bit of dancing going on to the theme song. Hey. What? I love these shoulder dances in my chair. I love that. Okay, bye guys. We'll see you so soon. Thanks for coming. Bye everyone. Moving out now.